I stood at the bus stop with my head down, counting the coins in my palm again and again, as if they might magically multiply. 1, 3, I whispered. My stomach growled loud enough to embarrass me, and I pressed my arm against it. I told myself I can eat later. I always eat later. Bus is here. Move, the conductor shouted. I stepped forward with the others, my shoes worn thin, my bag light because I owned almost nothing. Inside my head I kept repeating, just get home. Just survive today. That was my only goal most days. I climbed onto the bus and held out the coins. This is all, I said quietly. The conductor glanced at my hand. You're short. I know, I said. But it's what I have. He sighed. Fine. Get in. Next time bring full fare. I nodded quickly. Thank you. I moved toward the back, gripping the pole as the bus jerked forward. My legs ached from standing all day at work. My head felt heavy, like my thoughts were soaked in water. I tried not to think about lunch or dinner or tomorrow. A man stepped on after me. He looked out of place, like he didn't belong on a crowded, noisy bus. His clothes were neat but dusty, his face pale. One side of his forehead had a small cut, red and fresh. Fare? The conductor said. The man checked his pockets. He frowned. I don't have my wallet. The conductor crossed his arms. Then get off. I can pay later, the man said. His voice was calm but tired. No pay, no ride, the conductor snapped. People around us started watching. Someone muttered, always freeloaders. Another woman rolled her eyes. I watched the man's hands shake slightly. He looked around like he was searching for something or someone, then lowered his head. I understand, he said. Something twisted in my chest. I don't know why. I barely had enough for myself. I had already given my last coins. I told myself, stay quiet. This is not your problem. But my feet moved before my brain agreed. I'll pay, I said. The conductor turned to me. What? I'll pay for him, I repeated, my voice steadier than I felt. The man looked at me surprised. You don't have to. I know, I said. But I want to. I opened my palm again. The coins felt heavier now, like they knew I was letting them go. I handed them over. The conductor stared. You already paid. I know, I said. Please. He clicked his tongue, annoyed, but took the coins. Fine. Sit down. The bus moved again. My heart was pounding so hard I thought everyone could hear it. I turned to the man. You're welcome, I said, suddenly shy. He studied my face like he was trying to remember it forever. Thank you, he said softly. You didn't have to do that. I know, I said again. Just sit. He sat beside me. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The bus was loud, full of coughs, phone rings, and tired sighs. You shouldn't help strangers like that, an old man across from us said. People take advantage. I met his eyes. Maybe, I said. But not helping hurts more. The man beside me smiled just a little. What's your name? He asked. I hesitated. I don't usually give it out. That's fair, he said. Then don't. I laughed quietly. You're strange. So I've been told, he said. I glanced at his cut. You're hurt. It's nothing, he said. Just a bad day. I nodded. I get those. Every day, he asked. I thought about it. Most days. The bus hit a bump and he winced. Are you sure you're okay? I asked. I will be, he said. Thanks to you. I looked out the window, watching the city blur past. Inside my chest, fear and pride fought each other. I thought, now I won't eat tonight. I thought, but I did the right thing. A woman whispered to her friend, she's stupid. Giving money away when she looks like that. I heard her. I always heard things like that. My ears burned, but I lifted my chin. The man leaned closer. Ignore them. I'm used to it, I said. He shook his head. You shouldn't be. The bus slowed near my stop. I stood up. This is me. He stood too. Wait. Yes. I asked. He looked like he wanted to say something important, then stopped. I hope life is kinder to you. I smiled, small but real. I hope you find your wallet. He chuckled. Me too. I stayed standing a little longer, holding the rail, and he spoke again. Why did you really do it? He asked. I shrugged. Because I've been there. Where? He asked. Stuck, I said. Embarrassed. Watched. He nodded slowly. People don't like being watched when they're weak. They like it even less when no one helps, I said. He exhaled. You sound older than you look. Life does that, I replied. What about you? You don't look like someone who forgets his wallet. He smiled without humor. Today was different. Bad different? I asked. The worst kind, he said. I didn't push. Silence felt safer. The bus swayed. You're hungry, he said suddenly. I stiffened. What? You keep pressing your stomach, he said gently. I do that too. I laughed once. Then you know the feeling. If I had money, he said, I'd buy you food. That's okay, I said fast. I'm used to it. He frowned. You shouldn't be. I shouldn't be a lot of things, I said. But here I am. The conductor glanced back. Stop talking and hold tight, he barked. Yes, I said automatically. The man leaned closer again. I won't forget this, he said. You don't have to remember me, I replied. Just pay it forward. He looked at me like the words hurt. I will, he said. When my stop came again, I raised my voice. This one. The bus hissed as the doors opened. Cold air hit my face. Be careful, he said. You too, I answered. I stepped down, my shoes touching cracked pavement. The bus pulled away, taking warmth with it. I stood there empty-handed and steady. Thank you, the stranger said again as the bus slowed. His voice was low, like he didn't want anyone else to hear it. I nodded without looking at him. You already said that. I know, he replied. I just don't meet people like you. That makes two of us, I said. The doors opened. I stepped down onto the street, cold air cutting through my thin jacket. I didn't turn back. If I did, I knew I would feel something dangerous. Hope always cost me more than I could afford. I walked fast, my bag bumping against my hip. Great job, I muttered to myself. Now you're broke and hungry. No one answered. Of course not. The street lights flickered like they were tired too. You didn't have to do that, I said aloud, replaying his voice in my head. But you did, I replied to myself. Because you're stupid. My stomach twisted again. I pressed my palm against it. You'll live, I whispered. You always do. By the time I reached my building, my legs felt like stone. The paint on the walls was peeling and the stairs smelled like damp clothes. I climbed slowly, counting steps to distract myself. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I sighed. What now? I answered. Hello? Rent? A man's voice snapped. You're late again. I know, I said. I get paid soon. That's what you said last week, my landlord replied. And the week before. I just need a few more days, I said. He laughed. Days don't pay bills. I'm trying, I said, my voice tight. You're always trying, he said. Trying doesn't mean anything. Please, I said. I live here. For now, he replied. Miss another payment and you're out. He hung up before I could speak again. I stared at my phone. That went well, I muttered. I unlocked my door and stepped into my room. The light flickered when I switched it on. The room looked the same as always, small, quiet, empty. I dropped my bag on the chair and kicked off my shoes. My phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't unknown. His name filled the screen. I didn't answer. It buzzed again. And again. I sat on the edge of the bed. What do you want now? I asked the phone. I answered on the fourth call. What? Why aren't you answering? My boyfriend said. I've been calling all day. I was busy, I said. Busy doing what? He asked. Working, I replied. Like always. He scoffed. You always say that. Because it's true, I said. There was a pause. Did you eat? He asked. I almost laughed. Why? Just asking, he said. You don't have to get defensive. I'm not, I lied. Look, he said, I might be late tonight. You're always late, I replied. Don't start, he warned. I'm not starting, I said. I'm stating. Why do you always sound like that? He asked. Like everything is my fault. Because most things are, I said before I could stop myself. Silence stretched between us. You know, he said slowly, if you made more money things wouldn't be so hard. My fingers curled. I work full-time. And still can't afford rent, he said. That's not my problem. I never said it was, I replied. You don't have to, he said. I hear it in your voice. I didn't ask you to call, I said. You didn't ask me to care either, he snapped. I closed my eyes. Then why are you with me? He exhaled loudly. You're being dramatic. Answer the question, I said. I'll talk to you later, he replied. I'm busy. The line went dead. I stared at the wall. Busy? I repeated. Right. I checked my phone. 5 missed calls. 2 messages. I didn't open them. I already knew what they would say. Excuses always sounded the same. I dropped onto my bed and stared at the ceiling. Kindness is weakness, I said aloud. Didn't you learn that already? My stomach answered with another painful twist. I stood and opened the cupboard. Empty. I checked again like food might appear if I believed hard enough. Nothing, I said. Of course. I poured a glass of water and drank it slowly. Dinner, I told myself. My phone buzzed again. A message. I opened it. Why do you always make things difficult? I typed back because I exist. Then I deleted it. I tossed the phone onto the bed. I don't have the energy, I said. I sat on the floor, my back against the bed. The room was quiet, too quiet. That's when my mind drifted back to the bus. The stranger's eyes. The way he looked at me like I mattered. Stop, I whispered. That's how it starts. I remembered his voice. I won't forget this. People always forgot. Kindness never pays, I said. It just costs. My phone buzzed again. I ignored it. My stomach growled. I hugged my knees. Tomorrow, I told myself. You'll eat tomorrow? I lay back and stared at the ceiling again. Why do you keep doing this? I asked myself. Why do you help when no one helps you? No answer came. But his face stayed in my mind. Not pity. Not judgment. Just gratitude. I turned onto my side. That's dangerous, I whispered. Feeling seen is dangerous. I closed my eyes. Hunger sat in my chest. Regret sat beside it. And still, somehow, I didn't wish I'd kept the coins. I know you're lying, I said the moment he walked in. He stopped near the door. What are you talking about now? Don't do that, I replied. Don't act confused. He dropped his keys on the table. I just got off work. Can you not start a fight? I didn't start it, I said. I found it. He laughed once. Found what? My bank balance, I said. Or what's left of it? He stiffened. Why are you checking that? Because it's my money, I said. Or it was. You're imagining things, he said. You always do this. No, I said. You always say that. He crossed his arms. You're tired. You're stressed. That job messes with your head. Stop, I said. I saw the transfers. His jaw tightened. You don't trust me? I trusted you with my life, I said. And my savings. He scoffed. Savings? Don't be dramatic. 3 months of overtime, I said. Every extra shift. Gone. He rubbed his face. I needed it. For what? I asked. He looked away. Things. Say it, I demanded. Look at me and say it. He didn't. My chest burned. You stole from me. I borrowed, he snapped. I was going to pay it back. When? I asked. After you cheated? His head snapped up. What? I saw you, I said. With her. He laughed again louder. You're spying now? I wasn't spying, I said. I was working. He froze. I continued. You didn't even notice me standing there. That's not what you think, he said quickly. She was wearing my sweater, I said. The one I paid for. He ran a hand through his hair. You're overreacting. I heard her laugh, I said. She called you baby. She's just a coworker, he said. So am I replied. Or was I? He sighed. Why do you make everything so hard? I stared at him. You're blaming me? You're always tired, he said. Always broke. Always complaining. I complain because I'm drowning, I said. And I'm supposed to drown with you? He asked. I felt something crack. I supported you. You barely support yourself, he shot back. I skipped meals, I said. I paid your bills. You chose that, he said. I didn't force you. I laughed, sharp and empty. You're right. I chose you. He shrugged. That was your mistake. My hand shook. So you cheat. You steal. And it's my fault. If you were easier, he said, maybe I wouldn't have needed someone else. I stared at him, stunned. You needed someone else? She doesn't nag, he said. She doesn't count coins. She's sleeping with my boyfriend, I said. He snapped. She makes me feel like a man. I swallowed hard. And I don't. You make me feel poor, he said. The word hit harder than any slap. I am poor, I said quietly. But I never made you small. You make me look at my life, he replied. I don't like what I see. So you ruin mine instead, I said. He looked away. This isn't working. You think? I asked. She understands me, he said. You don't. I understand sacrifice, I said. You understand comfort. He rolled his eyes. You're being dramatic again. Where is she? I asked. He hesitated. That's none of your business. It's my life, I said. You brought her into it. She's waiting, he admitted. I told her I'd leave soon. I nodded slowly. Soon. You can't act surprised, he said. This was always temporary. For you, I said. I grabbed my bag. I'm leaving. He blinked. Where? Anywhere you aren't, I replied. You're being emotional, he said. Sit down. We can talk. There's nothing left to say, I said. You'll regret this, he warned. I regret staying, I answered. I walked past him. You won't survive alone, he said behind me. I paused at the door. I already have. I stepped into the night with my bag and nothing else. The air felt colder. My legs moved without direction. I didn't know where I was going. I just knew I couldn't stay. My phone buzzed. A message from her. I shouldn't have opened it. I'm sorry. He said you knew. I laughed out loud. Knew what? I asked the empty street. I kept walking until my feet hurt. Until the city lights blurred. I reached the bus stop and sat down hard. A man beside me glanced over. You okay? No, I said. He nodded like he understood. I leaned back, staring at the sky. I gave everything, I whispered. The bench was cold. The night was loud. My bag was my pillow. I closed my eyes and saw memories. You're amazing, he used to say. I can't do this without you. I promise. Promises felt like jokes now. I opened my phone and looked at my bank app again. 0, I said. I hugged my bag. This is what loyalty gets you. A bus passed without stopping. I thought about every late shift, every meal I skipped, every excuse I made for him. Why wasn't I enough? I asked the dark. No answer came. I wiped my face with my sleeve. You're not weak, I told myself. You're just tired. But doubt whispered louder. Maybe I was foolish. Maybe kindness really was a flaw. I curled up on the bench. Tomorrow, I said. Figure it out tomorrow. The city didn't care. But I stayed. You need to come with me, my manager said. I looked up from the counter. Why? She crossed her arms. We got a complaint. About what? I asked. She avoided my eyes. About you. I laughed once. That's vague. She slid a paper toward me. Read it. I scanned the lines. My name. Words that didn't belong to me. The rudeness. Threats. This is a lie, I said. I didn't do any of this. She says you did, my manager replied. Who? I asked, though I already knew. She's been here longer, my manager said. And she has witnesses. I was on shift, I said. You can check the cameras. We did, she said quickly. And? I asked. She exhaled. We don't need problems. I'm not the problem, I said. You are now, she replied. Turn in your badge. I stared at her. You're firing me. I'm letting you go, she corrected. For a lie, I said. For peace, she said. I slid the badge across the counter. I hope it was worth it. She didn't answer. I walked out with my hands shaking. That's it, I whispered. That's everything. Outside the sky was gray. Wind slapped my face like it was angry with me too. Breathe, I told myself. Just breathe. I walked without direction. No job, I said aloud. No home. No future. Rain started falling, slow at first, then heavy. People rushed past me. I didn't move. What did you expect? I asked myself. Good things don't stay. I crossed the street without caring. A car honked. Sorry, I muttered, not meaning it. I stopped under a closed shop roof. My phone buzzed. A message from my ex. You got fired yet? I laughed, sharp and bitter. You already know. I typed nothing. Rain soaked my hair. My bag felt heavier. My chest felt tight. I can't do this, I said. I can't. A security guard stepped toward me. You can't stand here. I'm not hurting anyone, I said. You're blocking the entrance, he replied. I'll move, I said. Now, he said. Fine, I snapped. I stepped back into the rain. Happy? I asked. He didn't answer. I walked until my feet burned. My clothes clung to me. Think, I told myself. Think. But my thoughts ran in circles. The bus stop appeared ahead. I slowed. Not again, I said. I looked up and my breath caught. He was there, sitting on the bench. Same calm face, same eyes. You, he said. I frowned. Do I know you? He stood slowly. We met on the bus. My head throbbed. I meet a lot of people. You paid my fare, he said gently. Memory hit me. You. I was hoping I'd see you again, he said. I wasn't, I replied. He glanced at the rain. You look cold. I'm fine, I said. You're shaking, he replied. It's raining, I said. Sit, he offered. No, I said. He nodded. Okay. I stood there, soaked and stubborn. You look like you had a bad day, he said. Don't, I warned. Don't what? He asked. Don't pretend you care, I said. I'm not pretending, he replied. I don't need help, I said. You didn't need it before either, he said. That was different, I replied. How? He asked. I chose that, I said. This wasn't a choice. He studied me. What happened? I lost my job, I said. Because of a lie. I'm sorry, he said. I'm tired of hearing that, I replied. He nodded. Then don't hear it. I hugged my arms. Why are you here? I come here when I don't know where else to go, he said. That makes two of us, I muttered. Thunder cracked. I flinched. Come with me, he said. No, I said immediately. Just for a night, he replied. I don't go with strangers, I said. You already trusted me once, he said. That was stupid, I replied. And kind, he said. Kind doesn't pay rent, I snapped. It pays warmth, he said. I don't want to owe you, I said. You don't, he replied. No strings. I laughed. That's what everyone says. He didn't argue. He just stood there. Rain poured harder. You're going to get sick, he said. I've been worse, I replied. You don't have to prove anything, he said. I do, I said. To myself. Silence stretched between us. A woman approached from across the street. You two coming in or not? She called. Who is that? I asked. She runs the shelter, he said. I don't stay in shelters, I said. She crossed her arms. You'd rather drown? I'm fine, I said. She raised an eyebrow. You look soaked and angry. I am, I said. She softened. One night, she said. No questions. I hesitated. I don't belong there. You belong somewhere dry, she replied. I looked at him. Why are you doing this? He met my eyes. Because you helped me when you didn't have to. I swallowed. Just one night, I said. He smiled, relieved. Just one. I followed them across the street. Inside, warmth wrapped around me. It means nothing, I told myself. But my heart didn't believe that. This is temporary, I said the moment we stepped inside. The caretaker looked at me. Everything is. I frowned. I wasn't talking to you. She smiled anyway. Room's ready. The stranger turned to me. You don't have to stay. I already said yes, I replied. Don't make it awkward. He nodded. Fair. The caretaker handed me a key. Hot water works if you wait. I won't, I said. She laughed softly. Everyone does. She left us alone in the narrow hallway. I crossed my arms. I don't want charity. This isn't charity, he said. It's shelter. There's a difference, I replied. Is there? He asked. Yes, I said. Charity has strings. So does pride, he said. I stared at him. You're calm for someone who met me twice. I don't panic easily, he replied. That's not normal, I said. Neither is giving away your last coins, he said. I unlocked the door. Don't read into it. I'm not, he said. I'm listening. Inside the room was small but clean. A bed. A chair. A lamp. I'll leave you, he said. Wait, I said. He paused. Yes. Why here? I asked. It's quiet, he said. And safe. You seem to know a lot about places like this, I said. I know about people, he replied. That's worse, I said. He smiled faintly. I'll be downstairs. I closed the door and leaned against it. One night, I whispered. That's it. I sat on the bed. My phone buzzed. Another message from my ex. You always land on your feet. I laughed without humor. You pushed me, I said. I ignored it. A knock came at the door. I opened it halfway. What? The caretaker stood there. Soup's ready. I didn't ask for food, I said. You didn't refuse either, she replied. I hesitated. I'll come down. Downstairs, the stranger sat at a small table. You eat? He asked. I will, I said. We sat in silence for a moment. This is good, I said. She smiled. It usually is. She walked away. You didn't have to stay, I said to him. I wanted to, he replied. Why? I asked. He stirred his soup. You look like someone who hasn't been heard. I snorted. People hear me complain all the time. They don't listen, he said. I looked at him. You think you do? I'm trying, he replied. I took another bite. That's new. For you? He asked. For me, I said. People usually fix or leave. I don't fix, he said. And I don't leave quickly. That sounds like a warning, I said. Or a promise, he replied. I studied him. What do you do? Work, he said. That's vague, I said. So is your pain, he replied. I sighed. I work too. I know, he said. How? I asked. You talk like someone who carries weight, he said. I shook my head. You sound like a therapist. I'm not, he replied. They charge. I laughed despite myself. Why did you really help me? I asked. He didn't answer right away. Because you didn't ask me who I was. That matters? I asked. It does, he said. I leaned back. Most people ask what I have. And you didn't, he said. I assumed you had nothing, I replied. He smiled. Fair. We ate quietly again. You know, I said, you talk like someone who understands money. He glanced up. Money talks loud. You know terms, I said. Interest. Leverage. Old habits, he replied. From where? I asked. Life, he said. I narrowed my eyes. You're hiding something. Aren't we all? He replied. I stood. I should sleep. Of course, he said. Thank you, I added quickly. You don't owe me, he said. I know, I replied. That's why I'm saying it. Upstairs, I lay on the bed staring at the ceiling. Don't trust him, I told myself. Don't depend. A knock came again. Yes. I called. It's me, he said. Just checking. I'm fine, I replied. I know, he said. Good night. Good night, I answered. Silence returned. My thoughts didn't. He listens, I thought. That's dangerous. I remembered his eyes on the bus. Come. Focused. I don't need saving, I whispered. I slept anyway. Morning came with light tapping at my door. Up, the caretaker said. Breakfast. I don't usually eat breakfast, I replied. Today you do, she said. Downstairs, the stranger stood by the door. I should go, he said. So soon? I asked, surprised. Yes, he replied. Where? I asked. Work, he said. Of course, I replied. He hesitated. I'll check on you. You don't have to, I said. I know, he replied. I met his eyes. I don't want to rely on you. I don't want you to, he said. That's rare, I said. He smiled. I'll see you. I watched him leave. Careful, the caretaker said beside me. About what? I asked. Quiet men, she replied. They carry storms. I nodded. So do quiet women. She smiled. I sat alone holding warm tea. One night, I told myself again, but my chest felt lighter. And that scared me. I learned the truth by accident. My phone buzzed while I was wiping tables at the guest house. You should answer that, the caretaker said. It keeps vibrating. I'm not expecting anyone, I replied. It sounds important, she said. I checked the screen and frowned. Unknown number. Those are always trouble, she said. I answered anyway. Hello. Miss, a crisp voice said, this is his assistant. We need to speak to him immediately. His who? I asked. There was a pause. The CO. My stomach dropped. You have the wrong number. You're with him, the voice said. Please hand him the phone. I looked around. He's not here. When will he return? The voice asked. I don't know, I said. Who are you talking about? Another pause. The owner. Of the group. My hand shook. Which group? The one you worked for, she replied. The room felt smaller. You're wrong, I said. I'm not, she said calmly. Please have him call me. The line went dead. I stood there staring at my phone. What's wrong? The caretaker asked. Nothing, I lied. Just spam. But my chest was burning. I waited. When he walked in an hour later, smiling like nothing existed outside this place, something inside me snapped. We need to talk, I said. He stopped. What happened? You, I replied. Everything about you. He glanced at the caretaker. Can we? She nodded and walked away. I crossed my arms. Say it. Say what? He asked. Who you are, I said. He didn't answer. My old company, I said. The one that fired me. You own it. His jaw tightened. How did you find out? So it's true, I said. He exhaled slowly. Yes. I laughed, loud and broken. Of course it is. I wanted to tell you, he said. When? I demanded. After watching me starve? That's not fair, he replied. What's fair? I asked. Letting me sleep on benches? I didn't plan this, he said. You planned silence, I said. You planned lies. I hid my name, he said. Not my heart. Don't, I snapped. Don't make it poetic. He stepped closer. I needed to know you. You needed to study me, I said. Like a project. That's not true, he said. You watched me struggle, I said. And said nothing. I helped, he said. I gave shelter. You gave control, I replied. I didn't consent. He winced. I'm sorry. Sorry doesn't fix humiliation, I said. I never looked down on you, he said. You didn't have to, I replied. Money did it for you. He shook his head. I wanted someone real. And I wanted honesty, I said. Silence stretched. My assistant shouldn't have called, he said. So you knew, I replied. You always knew. Yes, he admitted. From the bus. I clenched my fist. So that night was a test. No, he said quickly. It was chance. You recognized me, I said. I didn't recognize you. That was the point, he said. I'm not your experiment, I said. I never treated you like one, he replied. You let me think you were nothing, I said. Just like me. I wanted equality, he said. You had power, I said. I had hunger. He swallowed. I'm sorry. I laughed again. You keep saying that. I mean it, he said. You don't get to decide that, I replied. I care about you, he said. That makes it worse, I said. He looked hurt. Why? Because I trusted you, I said. I told you things. And I listened, he said. You lied while listening, I replied. He lowered his head. I was afraid. Of what? I asked. That you'd see money first, he said. I never asked, I said. I know, he replied. That's why I stayed. Tears burned my eyes. You stole my choice. I wanted time, he said. You took my dignity, I said. He reached out. I stepped back. Don't touch me, I said. I won't, he said softly. I feel small again, I said. Just like before. I never wanted that, he said. Intentions don't erase damage, I replied. Another silence. I'll leave, he said. You already did, I replied. He nodded. If you want. I need space, I said. I understand, he replied. He turned away then stopped. For what it's worth, meeting you changed me. I closed my eyes. It shattered me. He left. I sank into a chair, shaking. You okay? The caretaker asked. No, I said. But I will be. My phone buzzed again. A message from the assistant. Please forgive the interruption. I deleted it. I stared at the door. Kindness had a price. And today I paid it again. The door opened again. Miss, a woman said stepping inside. I apologize for earlier. I looked up. Who are you? I'm his assistant, she said. I came to collect him. I'm not luggage, he said from the doorway. She looked between us. Sir, the board is waiting. I laughed. Bored? Please, she said to me. He didn't mean harm. Did you? I asked him. He met my eyes. No. Did you enjoy watching me struggle? I asked. No, he said. It hurt. You could have stopped it, I said. I know, he replied. That's the worst part, I said. You knew. The assistant cleared her throat. He often hides his name. From poor women? I asked. She stiffened. From everyone. That doesn't help, I said. He spoke softly. You deserve truth. Yes, I said. I did. I'm sorry, he said again. I stood. Stop apologizing. What do you want me to do? He asked. Leave, I said. And let me keep one thing real. My feelings are real, he said. I can't carry them, I replied. The assistant stepped back. We'll wait outside. They moved toward the door. He paused. I never meant to play with your life. But you did, I said. I'll make it right, he said. You can't buy this, I replied. I won't try, he said. They left. I sat alone, breathing hard. Power always finds a way in, I whispered. And I hated that it found me. The caretaker sat beside me. Men with money bring storms. I didn't ask for rain, I said. You opened an umbrella, she replied. I didn't know it was gold, I said. She sighed. Truth hurts worse than hunger. I know, I said. Will you stay, she asked. For tonight, I said. That's enough, she replied. I nodded. I won't depend. Just rest, she said. I closed my eyes. Tomorrow I choose. And tonight, she asked. Tonight, I said, I survive. I whispered to the room, I was never invisible. The walls stayed quiet. I mattered before money, I said. My voice steadied. I will matter after. I stood and breathed. The truth shattered me. But shards can cut paths forward. I chose to walk. I told myself, feel it. I answered, I am. I said, don't break. I replied, I won't. The night listened. And I stayed. Tomorrow could wait. Tonight, truth burned. I held it anyway. Because pain taught me something. I was still here. And I would not disappear. Not for anyone. Not again. Never again. Ever? I'll leave in the morning, I said. He looked at me like I'd struck him. You don't have to. I do, I replied. You can stay until you're stable, he said. No pressure. That's pressure, I said. Just quieter. I'm trying to help, he said. I know, I replied. And I'm saying no. He rubbed his jaw. Why? Because if I stay, I said, I'll start depending. That's not a crime, he said. It is for me, I replied. Silence stretched between us. You think I'll control you, he said. I think life already tried, I said. I won't let money finish the job. I never offered money, he said. You offered safety, I replied. That's harder to refuse. He looked tired. You don't trust me. I trust myself less, I said. He stepped back. I won't stop you. Thank you, I replied. You don't have anywhere to go, he said. I'll find somewhere, I said. You're choosing struggle, he said. I'm choosing me, I replied. I packed my bag slowly. The caretaker watched me. You're stubborn. I survive, I said. He could make things easier, she said. He could make me smaller, I replied. She sighed. You're strong. I'm practiced, I said. Outside the air felt sharp. He followed me to the door. Let me at least get you breakfast. I already ate, I lied. He didn't call me out. I'll check on you, he said. Don't, I replied. Please. He nodded. I'll respect that. I stepped away before I could change my mind. The street didn't welcome me. Still here, I said aloud. Good. I walked until the shelter disappeared behind me. My phone buzzed. A message from him. If you need anything. I deleted it. I found a small cafe with a sign that said help wanted. I pushed the door open. You hiring? I asked. The woman behind the counter looked me up and down. Can you work? Yes, I said. Long hours, she said. I'm used to it, I replied. Low pay, she added. I can handle that, I said. She studied my face. You start now. Thank you, I said. She handed me an apron. Name? I told her. Don't be late, she said. I won't, I replied. The work was hard. Coffee, a man snapped. I'm coming, I said. You're slow, he said. I'm learning, I replied. At the end of the day my feet ached. The woman handed me cash. That's today. I counted it. This helps. It's honest, she said. That matters, I replied. I walked out holding the money tight. Look at you, I told myself. Still standing. The room I rented was small and loud. This will do, I said. I sat on the bed and breathed. My phone buzzed again. Another message from him. I hope you're safe. I typed nothing. I lay back and stared at the ceiling. You didn't break, I whispered. I thought about everything I'd lost. The job. The relationship. The lie wrapped in kindness. And I'm still here, I said. At work the next day the woman frowned. You look tired. I am, I said. Don't burn out, she warned. I don't have the luxury, I replied. A customer smiled. Thank you. You're welcome, I said. Felt good. That night I counted my money. Not much, I said. But it's mine. My phone stayed silent. I felt relief. Days passed. You're fast now, the woman said. I learn quick, I replied. You always alone? She asked. Yes, I said. She nodded. Less trouble. I've noticed, I replied. One night, walking home, rain started again. I stopped under a light. This used to scare me, I said. It didn't now. You're different, I told myself. Pain didn't soften me. It sharpened me. I remembered his voice. I wanted to help. I know, I whispered. But I won't be rescued. I reached my room and locked the door. Safe because I chose it. Not because someone bought it. I sat on the bed. I walked away, I said. And I'm proud. The room didn't answer. I didn't need it to. I checked my phone one last time. No messages. Good. I closed my eyes. Tomorrow I'd work again. Tomorrow I'd earn again. Tomorrow I'd keep choosing myself. And that felt like dignity. Real dignity. Earned. Not given. I slept. You hear what happened? The woman at work asked. What? I said. Your old place, she said. The company. I froze. What about it? They fired 2 people, she said. Big mess. I kept my voice steady. Who? She leaned closer. A guy and a girl. Caught stealing. My chest tightened. Stealing? Yeah, she said. Accounts didn't match. I nodded slowly. That happens. They say the guy blamed the girl, she added. I swallowed. Did it work? She snorted. No. I said nothing. You okay? She asked. I'm fine, I replied. Later, a customer whispered, Did you work there? Yes, I said. They're talking, she said. People are angry. Why? I asked. Because they lied, she said. And people trusted them. I wiped the counter. Trust is fragile. She nodded. Karma's loud sometimes. That night my phone buzzed. A message from a number I knew too well. We need to talk. I stared at it. What do you want? I typed. I messed up. I laughed quietly. You stole from me. I was desperate. So was I whispered. She ruined everything. You did that, I typed. Please. I deleted the chat. The next day another voice. Did you hear? A coworker asked. About what? I said. Your ex, she said. He's begging around. For what? I asked. Money, she replied. And sympathy. I shook my head. He says you ruined him, she added. I laughed. That's creative. You're calm, she said. I've already cried, I replied. That afternoon I saw a headline on a cracked screen. Former employees charged after internal audit. I closed the page. You're quiet, the woman at work said. I'm listening, I replied. To what? She asked. Balance, I said. On the walk home I felt watched. Not threatened. Observed. You still there? I whispered. No answer. But I knew. At the corner a man bumped into me. Sorry, he said. It's fine, I replied. You dropped this, he said, handing me a coin. I stared at it. It's yours, he said. I smiled faintly. Thank you. I felt him again. Not close. Not gone. Just aware. That night my phone rang. I didn't answer. It rang again. I won't, I told myself. A voicemail appeared. I didn't listen. The next day the woman at work waved a phone. They arrested the girl, she said. My stomach flipped. For fraud, she continued. And blackmail. I leaned against the counter. She always liked shortcuts. You knew her? She asked. Too well, I replied. She blamed everyone, she said. Some people do, I answered. Later a man whispered while paying. You look familiar. I get that, I said. You used to work for him, he said. My pulse jumped. Who? The big boss, he said. The quiet one. I said nothing. He fired half the board, the man added. Cleaned house. I nodded. Good. You okay? The man asked. I am now, I replied. That evening rain returned. I stood under a light again. Still standing, I said. A car slowed nearby. The window stayed up. It drove on. I know, I whispered. The next message came days later. I'm proud of you. I stared at it. Don't watch me. I typed it. I'm not watching. I'm respecting distance. I exhaled. Good. Work stayed hard. You're promoted, the woman said. Why? I asked. You don't lie, she replied. That's a low bar, I said. Most fail, she answered. I smiled. That night I ate a warm meal. Progress, I said. My phone buzzed again. He lost everything. I didn't need names. I closed my eyes. Balance, I whispered again. A week later I ran into someone familiar. You look better, my ex said. You look desperate, I replied. He flinched. I made mistakes. You made choices, I said. They turned on me, he said. You taught them, I replied. He stepped closer. I need help. I stepped back. I need peace. You owe me, he said. I laughed. That's funny. You wouldn't have survived without me, he snapped. I survived despite you, I replied. He stared. You think you won? I think I walked away, I said. He scoffed. You're still poor. I nodded. And free. He left. I breathed. That night I felt him again. Closer this time. Still silent. I'm okay, I whispered. I meant it. The next morning the news played. Charges confirmed. Assets frozen. Public apology issued. I turned it off. You hear? The woman asked. Yes, I said. Karma, she said. I think so, I replied. Walking home I smiled. Not wide. Not proud. Just steady. I believe now, I said. The street answered with quiet. My phone stayed silent. For once. And that felt right. I stared at the email on my phone and whispered, this is it. My hands shook. You can expose them, the message said. We have proof. I asked myself, do I want blood or breath? I remembered every insult, every stolen coin. Say yes, anger told me. End them. Another voice said, end this. I typed nothing. I walked in circles. Revenge feels loud, I said. Peace feels quiet. The email waited. My heart argued with itself, loud, tired, and raw. I breathed slowly and asked, who will I be tomorrow if I choose this? I waited for an answer. At work, the manager said, people are talking. I replied, they always do. She asked, will you testify? I swallowed. If I speak, I said, it ends them. She nodded. And you? I paused. It frees me, I answered. She leaned closer. Revenge is tempting. I shook my head. Truth is cleaner. She sighed. Once you talk, there's no hiding. I smiled weakly. I'm done hiding. My chest felt tight, but my voice felt clear. I told myself calm words could carry weight, even when anger begged me to scream louder. I stood straight and breathed. Slowly, steadily, without regret. That night my phone buzzed again. We can publish tomorrow, the message said. I whispered, tomorrow changes everything. I argued with myself. They deserve pain. You deserve peace. I remembered sleeping hungry. Expose them, anger said. Live, peace replied. I sat on the bed. What do I want? I asked. Silence answered. I typed, erased, typed again. I will tell the truth, I wrote. No lies. No insults. My hands stopped shaking. My stomach twisted, but my head felt lighter. I whispered, whatever happens next, I will face it without hiding or cruelty. I chose myself at last. Today, finally. The next day, a reporter called. Are you ready? She asked. I said, I won't attack. She replied, facts are enough. Good, I said. Ask me anything. She asked about money. They stole, I said. She asked about lies. They lied, I said. She asked about motives. Fear, I answered. She went quiet. You're calm, she said. I'm tired, I replied. My voice didn't shake. My anger stayed seated. I felt strangely empty and strangely strong. I told myself justice did not need shouting, only light, patience, and a steady spine. I breathed and continued speaking. Softly, clearly, without fear. After the call, I sat alone. Is it done? I asked. My phone stayed quiet. I remembered faces watching me fall. They will fall, anger said. They already are, peace replied. I opened social media. Headlines spread fast. Fraud confirmed. Evidence released. I closed the app. No celebrating, I told myself. My chest felt hollow. I expected joy. It didn't come. I felt release instead. Like dropping a heavy bag. This is enough, I whispered. The room felt still, like it understood. I sat longer, letting silence sit with me, teaching me restraint, dignity, and calm. Tonight I slept peacefully. At work, whispers followed me. You spoke, someone said. I did, I replied. Are you scared? She asked. I said, no. Do you feel powerful? Another asked. I shook my head. I feel light. They nodded slowly. They're finished, one said. I answered, I'm finished with them. My hands were steady. My back felt straight. I realized revenge didn't heal me. Honesty did. I worked my shift quietly. Every small task felt earned. Nobody owned my story now. I did, fully, without bitterness. I smiled once, not proud, not cruel, just settled inside my own skin. At last, breathing freely. That evening my phone buzzed. I didn't look. You don't need to, I told myself. The screen went dark. I walked home slowly. You chose peace, I said. The street felt ordinary. No applause. No cheers. I like that. This is real, I whispered. I unlocked my door. The room waited. I did right, I said aloud. My voice sounded older, stronger. I ate dinner quietly. Every bite felt honest. I didn't check the news. I didn't need proof anymore. I was already free. I sat by the window watching lights flicker, feeling nothing chase me anymore. At peace now. Later I received one message. You could have destroyed us, it said. I typed, I didn't need to. My chest stayed calm. Why? The message asked. I replied, because I wanted to live. The typing stopped. I stared at the wall. This is over, I said. My phone went silent. I felt no victory. No warmth. Just space. Clean space. I lay down. Tomorrow is mine, I whispered. Sleep came easily. No nightmares followed. No voices argued. My mind felt quiet like water after a storm. I smiled faintly, knowing revenge had passed me and peace had chosen me instead. The next morning, sunlight felt soft. You survived, I told myself. I brewed cheap coffee. You're still here, I said. My phone stayed quiet. I like that too. No more chasing, I whispered. I dressed for work. Every movement felt mine. Nobody watched. Nobody judged. On the street I walked steady. This is strength, I said. Not shouting. Not punishing. Just standing. I realized revenge wanted to keep me tied. Peace let me move. I chose movement. I chose breath. I chose myself again. For once, the future didn't scare me. It waited patiently for my steps. Ahead, open, honest. At work, the woman smiled. You look different, she said. I answered, I feel settled. She asked, any regrets? I shook my head. Only that I waited so long. She laughed softly. You're brave. I replied, I'm tired of being scared. She nodded. That's braver. We worked quietly. No gossip reached me. No whispers touched me. I focused on small wins. Honest pay. Clean sleep. Simple meals. My life felt small, but it felt true. I realized truth doesn't roar. It rests. I carried it gently, like something fragile, valuable, and earned through pain. Slowly, daily, without looking back. Ever. That night, I thought of everything I lost. You gained yourself, I answered. I sat quietly. No anger spoke. No revenge whispered. I felt clean. This is peace, I said. Not happiness. Not victory. Just peace. My phone stayed dark. The world didn't end. It continued. I breathed deeply. Thank you, I told myself. I didn't need applause. I didn't need regret. I needed truth. I had it. I lay down calmly. Sleep came without fear. Tomorrow waited. For the first time, my heart felt like home, not a battlefield demanding endless defense. I rested, breathing, finally unafraid. At peace. I woke knowing my choice was made. No revenge, I said. Only truth. The city sounded the same. I was different. I dressed, ate, and stepped outside. You're free, I told myself. Not rich. Not saved. Free. I walked forward without checking behind me. My story didn't need cruelty. It needed courage. I carried that quietly. I didn't smile wide. I didn't cry. I lived. And that was enough. The past stayed where it belonged. I chose peace and peace stayed. With every step, I honored myself, my pain, my growth, and the quiet strength I earned. Today. Always. Forward. I heard my name behind me and said, don't. I turned anyway. Say it once, I added. He stood there, hands empty, voice low. I'm sorry. I waited. That's all? I asked. He swallowed. No, I crossed my arms. Then talk. He nodded. I hurt you. I replied, start there. He breathed out. I hid who I was. I said, why? He answered, because power ruins truth. I tilted my head. It ruined mine. He nodded again. I know. I didn't move. Keep going, I said. He said, I wanted to earn trust. I laughed softly. You stole it. He winced. I didn't mean, I cut in. Meaning doesn't change damage. He went quiet. I said, you don't get to explain yet. He nodded. I'm listening. I stepped closer. You watched me suffer. He said, I didn't interfere. I replied, you benefited. He lowered his eyes. Yes. I said, say it clearly. He took a breath. I benefited from your pain. I nodded. Good. He looked up. I'm not proud. I said, pride isn't here today. He asked, what is? I answered, truth. He said, I deserve your anger. I replied, you don't get to ask for it. He flinched. Then what do I deserve? I paused. You deserve honesty. He nodded slowly. I can accept that. I said, can you accept silence? He hesitated. If that's what you want. I studied his face. You look smaller. He said, I feel smaller. I replied, good. He tried to step closer. I lifted a hand. Stay there. He stopped. I'm not here to fix anything, he said. Then why are you here? I asked. He answered, to face you. I said, without power? He nodded. Without titles. I asked, without money? He said, without leverage. I exhaled. This is new. He said, I earned that. I replied, you earned less. He didn't argue. I won't ask you to forgive me, he said. I smiled faintly. That's wise. He added, I won't offer help. I said, also wise. He looked relieved. I just needed to say sorry. I replied, apologies don't erase choices. He said, I know. I asked, why now? He answered, because you chose peace. I raised an eyebrow. Explain. He said, you didn't use me. I replied, I didn't need to. He nodded. That's why I'm here. I leaned against the wall. You think this changes us? He shook his head. I think it ends something. I asked, what? He said, control. I laughed quietly. You never had it. He looked surprised. I didn't? I replied, you had access. He swallowed. And now? I said, now you're just a man. He nodded. That's all I want to be. I said, careful. He asked, why? I replied, wanting doesn't equal deserving. He accepted that. Then tell me what you want, he said. I smiled. You don't get that either. He exhaled. You're right. I said, this conversation exists because I allow it. He nodded. I know. I asked, how does it feel? He answered, like standing without armor. I replied, welcome. He gave a small smile. You're strong. I said, I was always strong. He said, I underestimated you. I replied, you misjudged yourself. He frowned. How? I said, you thought money made you safe. He nodded slowly. It didn't. I said, you thought secrecy made you honest. He said, it didn't. I added, you thought silence made you kind. He whispered, it didn't. I met his eyes. Now you're learning. He said, from you. I replied, from consequence. He looked down. I lost respect. I said, you lost illusion. He asked, is there a difference? I answered, respect can be rebuilt. He looked up. Illusion cannot. He stood straighter. Then what happens now? I thought for a moment. Now you leave. He nodded. Without hope. I said, with humility. He accepted that. May I say one more thing? I considered. One sentence. He said, you changed me. I replied, that's your work. He turned to go. Wait, I said. He stopped. You don't owe me anything, I continued. He nodded. I know. I added, but you owe yourself honesty. He said, I'm trying. I replied, try quietly. He smiled sadly. Goodbye. I answered, goodbye. He walked away without looking back. I watched him disappear. That's done, I whispered. My chest felt calm. No rush. No triumph. Just balance. I realized power had shifted long ago. It moved when I stopped needing approval. It settled when I chose truth. It came without power because I no longer gave it. I felt steady. I felt finished. The past didn't chase me. The future didn't beg me. I stood in the present, complete, unafraid, unowned. I walked home slowly, breathing evenly, knowing this chapter closed because I said it was time. At home I sat quietly. You handled that, I told myself. My phone stayed silent. I like that. No echoes, I said. I replayed his face. Not strong. Not weak. Just human. That's enough, I whispered. I poured water and drank. My hands didn't shake. You didn't save him, I said. You didn't need to. I remembered the bus. The coins. The silence. Everything returned, I murmured. Not as reward. As lesson. I lay back. This is closure, I said. No fireworks. No promises. Just an ending that respected me. I slept easily. The next morning I woke clear-headed. No messages, I smiled. I dressed and left. The street felt normal. Normal is earned, I said. I walked to work. Every step felt grounded. You're in control, I told myself. Not over others. Over me. That felt right. I worked calmly. I spoke honestly. Nothing followed me. No guilt. No longing. Just quiet strength. I realized forgiveness wasn't required. Boundaries were. I set them. I kept them. I lived inside them comfortably. This is my life, I said. I didn't look back. I didn't need to. Power had already moved. It lived with me now. Steady. Earned. Silent. When I passed the place where we met, I paused. Thank you, I said softly. Not to him. To myself. I continued walking. The city didn't notice. I didn't need it to. My story wasn't loud anymore. It was mine. I chose what stayed. I chose what left. I chose peace again. And this time it stayed. You're the one, she said, staring at me. The one what? I asked. The one who spoke, she replied. I told the truth, I said. That's rare, she said. I shrugged. It was necessary. At work, whispers followed me again, but they sounded different. You inspired my sister, someone said. How? I asked. She left a bad situation, he replied. I blinked. Good. You don't look surprised, he added. I didn't plan it, I said. That's why it matters, he said. During break, the woman sat beside me. They asked about you, she said. Who? I asked. A small group, she replied. Community work. I frowned. Why me? She smiled. Because you survived. I looked down. So did many. You spoke, she said. Most stay quiet. That evening my phone buzzed. An email waited. We'd like you to share your experience. I whispered, I'm not special. Another message followed. We value honesty. I stared at the screen. You ready? I asked myself. No answer came. At dinner I said aloud, I'm scared. The room didn't laugh. I'm also proud, I added. The next day I stood in a small room. You can sit, a woman said. I'll stand, I replied. She nodded. Your choice. She asked, why did you speak? I said, because silence was killing me. She wrote something down. What did you lose? She asked. I lost fear, I replied. She looked up. That's not small. After, someone clapped softly. You did well, the woman said. I just talked, I answered. That's enough, she said. Outside my phone buzzed again. No name. Just a short message. Proud of you. I exhaled. Quiet support, I murmured. I typed nothing back. At work, changes followed. You're moving departments, the manager said. Why? I asked. Training role, she replied. I hesitated. I'm not qualified. She smiled. You're honest. That night I told myself, don't shrink. I remembered sleeping cold. You earned this, I said. The next session felt easier. A young woman asked, how did you leave? I answered, one step. She asked, wasn't it scary? I replied, every step. She nodded. I'm scared too. I said, that means you're awake. Afterward, people lingered. You didn't blame, one said. I didn't need to, I replied. You didn't beg, another said. I stood, I answered. Walking home, I felt taller. Strange, I whispered. At the store, the cashier smiled. You're the speaker, she said. I'm just me, I replied. She said, my friend listened. I nodded. Tell her I believe in her. At home I opened my notebook. I'm not broken, I wrote. I crossed it out. I was never broken, I corrected. My phone buzzed again. They approved your proposal. I sat down hard. Mine? I whispered. The message continued. Independent funding. No conditions. I smiled slowly. No strings, I said. Another message followed. You earned it. I knew who sent it. I typed, thank you for the distance. A reply came. Always. At the next meeting, someone asked, who helped you? I answered, I did. They nodded, impressed. But support matters, another said. I replied, quiet support respects growth. They wrote that down. During lunch, the woman said, you changed. I healed, I replied. She smiled. You're steady? I learned, I said. From pain, she asked. From survival, I answered. One evening a girl stopped me outside. You don't know me, she said. I can listen, I replied. She said, I left today. I held my breath. Are you safe? She nodded. Because you spoke. I felt tears rise. Thank you, she said. I whispered, you're welcome. At home I cried quietly. Worth it, I told myself. Days passed. Opportunities came slowly, honestly. No shortcuts. No rescue. Just work. You're reliable, they said. I'm present, I replied. You're strong, they added. I'm consistent, I answered. One night I felt him nearby again. Not watching. Just aware. I whispered, I'm okay. No reply came. I like that too. At an event, someone asked, do you hate them? I said, no. Why not? They pressed. Hate keeps me tied, I replied. They nodded thoughtfully. After I sat alone. You did good, I told myself. The mirror agreed. I saw lines. I saw calm. I saw strength. I survived, I said. Not loudly. Not proudly. Honestly. At work, applause surprised me. For courage, they said. I said, for honesty. They smiled. Same thing. That night, my phone stayed quiet. I slept deeply. Dreamless. The next morning, I woke early. You're free, I said. I brewed coffee. The window showed light. Ordinary, I smiled. Later, a message arrived. If you ever need. I typed, I don't. Pause. Then I'm glad. Me too, I replied. At a talk, someone asked, what saved you? I answered, choice. They asked, which one? I said, choosing myself. Silence filled the room. Then nods. After, a woman said, you're not a victim. I replied, I never was. Walking home, I passed the bus stop. Coins clinked in my pocket. Full circle, I whispered. I boarded and paid. Someone struggled behind me. I turned. I've got it, I said. They looked surprised. Thank you, they said. I smiled. Pass it on. I sat down calm. Not poor. Not rich. Oh. I see you, I told myself. The city moved. The past stayed still. My story wasn't gossip. It was proof. I survived. I stood. And now I lived. I stood at the bus stop and laughed softly. Same place, I said. The driver glanced at me. You riding? He asked. Yes, I replied. I stepped on and paid. That route again? He said. Yes, I answered. It feels right. I sat by the window. Funny, I whispered, how life circles back. A woman beside me asked, first time? I smiled. No, just remembering. She nodded. Buses do that. I watched the road. So do choices, I said. The conductor called out, tickets. I handed mine over. Thank you, he said. You're welcome, I replied. My heart beat steady. Years ago, I told myself, I counted coins. I closed my eyes. You didn't know, I said quietly. The woman leaned closer. Know what? She asked. I replied, that one moment can change you. She smiled. It always does. I nodded. Only if you notice. A young man stood near the door, searching his pockets. I'm short, he said. The conductor frowned. Step aside. My chest tightened. I stood. I've got it, I said. The young man looked at me. Are you sure? He asked. Yes, I replied. Please. I paid. He whispered, thank you. I smiled. I know, I said. He looked confused. You do? He asked. I do, I answered. I sat back down. My hands didn't shake. Still me, I whispered. The woman beside me said, "You're kind." I shook my head. "I'm consistent." She laughed. "That's better." I watched the city pass. "I was poor once," I said softly. She looked at me. "Once?" I nodded. "In money and spirit." She asked, "And now?" I replied, "Only in money sometimes." She smiled. "You sound rich." I answered, "I am." She raised an eyebrow. "How?" I said, "I know who I am." My phone buzzed. A message appeared. "Safe travels." I didn't reply. I didn't need to. Distance is respect, I said to myself. The bus slowed. "Next stop," the driver called. I stayed seated. "I'm not rushing," I whispered. A man across the aisle stared. "You okay?" he asked. "Better than okay," I replied. He nodded. "Good place to be." I smiled. It took work. I remembered hunger. "You survived," I told myself. I remembered cold nights. "You learned," I added. I remembered betrayal. "You released," I finished. The woman asked, "What are you thinking?" I said, "That justice doesn't shout." She nodded. "It walks quietly," I replied, "and carries lessons." The bus rattled. "Life does too," I said. She laughed. "You're poetic." I shrugged. "I'm honest." At the next stop the young man waved. "I'll pass it on," he said. I waved back. "That's enough," I replied. The woman asked, "Does it feel good?" I thought. "It feels right," I said. She smiled. "That lasts longer." I watched the door close. "I used to think kindness was weakness," I whispered. She said, "And now?" I answered, "Now I know it's choice." She nodded slowly. "Choice is power." The bus crossed a bridge. I breathed deeply. "I'm not angry," I said. The woman asked, "At anyone?" I shook my head. "At myself, maybe, for doubting so long." She said, "You're here now." I replied, "Yes." I felt calm. "No debts," I whispered. "No chains." She asked, "What changed?" I said, "I stopped asking to be saved." She smiled. "You saved yourself." I nodded. "With small acts." The driver glanced back. "End of the line soon," he said. "Take your time," I replied. He smiled. "Always do." I gathered my bag. "Light?" I noted. The woman stood too. "Nice meeting you," she said. "Same," I replied. "Be kind," she added. I answered, "To yourself first." She paused. "I will." We stepped off together. I stood where I once stood before. "Same pavement," I said. The wind felt gentle. "Different heart," I added. I checked my pocket. Coins rested there. "Not last once," I smiled. I remembered the stranger. "You didn't change my life," I said softly. "You revealed it." I walked slowly. "I'm not poor in spirit," I told myself. "I'm generous by nature." The street felt quiet. "That's justice," I whispered. "Quiet and complete." A passerby asked, "You waiting for someone?" I replied, "No, where you going?" he asked. I smiled. "Forward." He nodded. "Good direction." I continued walking. "I forgive myself," I said, "for staying too long. For doubting." My phone buzzed again. A simple message appeared. "Take care." I typed "Always do." I put the phone away. I passed the shelter where I once stayed. "Thank you," I said. A guard recognized me. "You look well," he said. "I am," I replied. "Still helping people?" he asked. I nodded. "Without losing myself." He smiled. "That's the balance." I said, "I found it." I walked on. No applause, I told myself. No need. At home I sat by the window. "Full circle," I said again. I brewed tea. "Simple," I smiled. I opened my notebook. "Who am I?" I wrote. I answered aloud, "Someone who chooses." I closed the book. "That's enough." I looked at my hands. Steady. Capable. "I trust you," I told myself. They didn't tremble. That evening I dreamed lightly. No fear chased me. No voices argued. I woke calm. "Peace stays," I said. I dressed and left. The bus passed by. I waved at it. "Thank you," I whispered. "Not for money. For truth. For showing me who I was when no one watched." "I'm proud of you," I told myself. I walked forward. No bitterness followed. No regret lingered. Only strength. I reached the corner and paused. One fare, I said. One choice. I smiled. A lifetime of clarity. I stepped into the crowd. Not lost. Not alone. Just present. This is my ending, I said softly. And my beginning. The city moved around me. I moved within it. Oh, quiet. Free.